I think we as people today can implement Dr. Martin Luther King's philosophy by just treating others the way that we want to be treated, just with kindness, loyalty, consideration for other people. I feel will go a long way. Just by saying that you like someone else's shirt or saying that somebody looks pretty today, I think that will definitely change someone's mood and they'll actually pass it on to actually give another compliment to someone else.
I guess what I took from Dr. King the most was, I guess, his attitudes towards violence and achieving justice, just how he looked at inspiring change through only peaceful means, trying to negotiate any type of conflict or change, to go about a peaceful means of converting the person. It's kind of helped me just be more open-minded to other people and try and actually, listen and get an understanding of where they come from on a stance. Because the better I understand them, the better I have at trying to communicate my message to them.
He talked about a lot was treating people as human beings and being nice and not treating people differently because of a certain thing or the color of their skin or, not treating them differently because of what makes them different. We still didn't get up to that point where we could just still treat each other in a way where we would like to be treated, but we'll get there someday, I think, hopefully.
One of the things we can do as a society is implement the philosophy of people. One of the most important things in our life is not the titles that we obtain or the titles or awards that we win, for those just collect dust, but the people we're able to meet and the relationships we're able to build. Because those memories and those moments that we create with people will last forever. And it's also because through people, you're able to do more that awards and titles can't. Whereas people creates a network of contact, of love, of getting a message out, of establishing friendship for a long, long time. I think that's something Dr. King would love more people in America and around the world to utilize more. So that's something I think everyone needs to understand, not just in this society, but in all.
Dr. Martin Luther King lived by the philosophy of nonviolent resistance in regards to the racism and prejudice that occurred during his time. And although racism and prejudice has left some of our society, some of it still exists. And I believe that we as a people, when we witness and or are victims of racism and or prejudice, we should view it as an opportunity to educate the ignorant. What I mean by this is that instead of getting upset by the comments and words that are spoken by people, we should try to use that as an opportunity to educate them on how their views or why their views could or should be changed. And although there will be a few, if not many, that probably won't change their views, there will still be a few, if not many, that will change.
When I think of implementing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s philosophy, I think of selfless commitment to furthering the cause of the marginalized, the underrepresented, the people whose society as a whole is unfairly excluding and demeaning. As students, sometimes our highest aim seems to be academic excellence and achieving success with a career. But heroes of our history like Dr. King remind us that service and sacrifice are what truly constitutes success. Jesus said, "Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." Dr. King was willing to take that risk rather than let the world around him smother the truth. I hope we can be bold enough to follow that kind of example. As Dr. King said, history will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people.
Well, we sit and ponder upon what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for. He stood for a lot of things, so I think that implementing his philosophy in our everyday lives, the best thing we can do is just strive for excellence every day, never settle for mediocrity, always go above and beyond what's expected of us, what's required of us. I think also not taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented to us today that weren't presenting in the days of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Treat people right even if they don't treat you right. Sometimes it's hard, and living day to day and somebody's treating you one way, it's kind of hard to turn the other cheek, but in life that's what you have to do sometimes. You can't just, be rude to someone because they're rude to you. They say kindness kills, kill someone with kindness, so that's what I try to do.
Tomorrow, it will be a place where There's still 100 countries, and there's still 100 borders, but everyone can get to and from. We refer to everyone as anonymous and as an individual. You have friends at work, you have friends outside of work. You know their name, you may not. You may know where they're from, their race, their gender, but it doesn't really matter.
We as people can definitely, we can be better people. We can be better as a whole. There's so many things that we can do to contribute to our community and to our school and to our families, just to pay it forward and do better and follow what he was saying, because he was right. I feel like he'd be disappointed in what our world has become today.
I look more at the person. I don't really care what their orientation is or their religion or what their race is. I base pretty much on the person, which I believe everyone should do, because it's more of the content of our character, what Martin Luther King Jr. said, than how we look or what we believe in. It's just how we treat other people. I would say take a look at your philosophies. If there's anything that maybe puts up walls between you and other people and you're not getting to know other people, maybe you should take a look and see what you can change. Like I said, it's not going to be easy and it's going to take some time, but it can be done.
Well, I feel that we can implement Dr. King's philosophy in our everyday lives. One, just by recognizing everyone is a human being. Everyone has feelings. Everyone's an individual. We're human beings. Reach out and connect to one another, and that's what makes his philosophy easy to incorporate every day. If we just find a connection, connect to the next human being, a helping hand, offering a smile, opening up your heart, just being loving towards one another, and all those other things that he wanted to accomplish will be easily accomplishable to reach out and help them as our brothers and sisters, as our fellow human being, reach up and pull them and get them to where they want to be at, and then they can help the next person and the next person, and we can all be equal in that manner. And that's how I feel like we can implement his philosophies in our everyday lives, and how I do it as well.
I think from a social standpoint, I think it's important to guard against prejudice of any kind, be it race, age, sex, religion, and be accepting of people and not judging people based on these characteristics. I try to be very accepting of people from different cultures and backgrounds, and coming into the United States, I realized, a lot of people had a hard time, understanding the fact that I could speak English coming from an African country, so just reciprocating that to other people as well, that are judged because of their backgrounds.
I think it really comes down to stopping to look at yourself, look at your life, realize that we only have a very finite time on this planet, and if you really want to get the most out of it, you have to put the most back into it. And I just love talking to people, even random people, strangers, looking them right in the eye, acknowledging their existence, seeing into them. And he asks us to look into the depth of our souls and the every bit of our being, and to challenge ourselves to extend out our hands in friendship and love. And even if we don't even know where it's going to go, we have to just try. And I believe it so fully that I'm willing to spend my life doing it, even by just living. It's a way of living. He proposed a philosophy of life, and it's a beautiful one that we all connect to it. There's a reason why we can connect to it and become inspired by it, and I believe he was completely right. We have to try every single day, because we won't last forever, but maybe the kindness of our deeds can last further than we do.
In order to start with we, I believe we should start with ourselves and take it just by, as a person, what can I do to help the cause? And then from myself, then reach out to my family. And then after my family, reach out to my community. And then once my community is strong, then the community can reach out to everyone else. And I believe as a people, if I start with myself, then I can work my way up to others.